doing that. Okay, now you are getting. It's coming now. Just give and wait. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratrishe Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrundi ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, chapter 10. What is the name of the chapter in Sanskrit? What is the name of the chapter? What was the chapter 9? Yeah. It's Vibhuti Yoga. No, this is chapter 9. Chapter 9 was what? What was the chapter 9 name? Last week we had.
Mataji, the most confidential knowledge.
Most confidential knowledge.
Rajavidya. Okay, you all remember the English ones. Okay.
Rajavidya, Rajaguhya.
Yoga. And then chapter 10 is Vibhuti
Yoga.
The opulence of the Absolute. Let's pay obeisances to Shri Shri Radha Govind. Let's take that blessing. So we'll quickly see what are the sections we saw in chapter 9. So chapter 1 to, first we learned in a section A, hearing about Krishna qualifications and disqualification. So what was that qualification which Krishna mentions in that Arjuna has, the special quality of Arjuna that makes Krishna to share this confidential knowledge? What was that quality? Yes, who can tell?
Mataji, Arjuna was not envious to Krishna and he was its friend.
Yes, very nice. So non-enviousness, no, that was a great quality which Arjuna has, and we also should be in the same path if we have to understand the mystery of this Bhagavad Gita. So that is the thing. And disqualification, Krishna says in the third shloka. What was that? What is a disqualification that one cannot understand, or mainly the person will have to take birth? I mean, he have to be in the cycle of birth and death. What makes him to take again? Huh?
Lust, Mataji.
No, it is faithlessness. Faith. Yeah, Ashraddha Dana Purusha. No, Krishna says like Ashraddha Dana, whoever is not faithful, so who don't have belief in words of Krishna, then such people will have to take birth again and again into this material world, or also may also go into a darker planets also, right? Because who don't agree, like Krishna explains so many things. I mean, chapter 9 was very important, like where he explained about his achintya beda tattva. So simultaneously one and different, like Krishna creates this material world and he annihilates also, but then still he is unattached. How do we understand this? So this is Lord's achintya beda abeda tattva. This we learned. And then relationship with the material world. So how Krishna, through him, this material world operates. And then non-worshippers and worshippers. What will be the destination of non-worshippers? What will they happen to the atheistic people? So they will fall into the darkest planet, right, where there is no hope for liberation. And the worshippers, Krishna speaks about the Mahatma. Mahatmas means they who have the Daivi Prakriti, means divine nature. So they are always protected under Krishna's internal potency. But we are all in the Mahamaya because external energy. But then who are pure devotees, they're always protected in internal energy of the Lord. And then we saw Krishna is the supreme object of worship, where we saw like demigod worship also. And Krishna calls them unintelligent. I mean, they're not really intelligent because whoever worship the demigods, I mean, indirectly through Krishna only it has to come, right? I mean, they avidhi purvakam. Krishna mentions a word like avidhi purvakam. They are doing it in a wrong way. Why don't you water the roots instead of watering branches, leaves like that? So that's what Krishna means there. And then in section D, last section, glories of directly worshipping Krishna. So they in very important shlokas from 26 to 34, where Krishna explains about how one can. The confidential thing means we learned so many things about the Lord in previous chapters, his energies in chapter 7 and all that. But then by after knowing that how to engage in devotional service, okay, devotional service is very important. We Krishna says we understand, but then how to engage? So Krishna explains from 26 to 34 how one can engage in devotional service. So how can one offer food to Krishna? Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti paharatam ashnami prayatatmana. Ashnami means I will accept. So it is not like simply we are keeping, it is because when we offer with love, Krishna will surely accept, no, whatever. And then Krishna says, Yet karoshi yadashnasi, whatever you do, whatever charity you give, I mean, if we do for Krishna, then it is good for us. Otherwise, in chapter 3, Krishna says, whoever is not yo bhuktes tena eva sava, them, that means we are like a thief without offering to Krishna, because it is like a yagna chakra. If it has to go properly in a, I mean, then everything has to be, timely rain and these things, everything is connected, no? So that way this Krishna has created this material world. So if we are doing everything rightly and offering to God, and then we are taking, because after all it has everything come from the Lord, and also he likes when it is offered with love. And then finally Krishna says how to worship him. How to worship him in 3 ways. Who can tell? How to worship Krishna? How does Krishna says? You should always think of me, and then what are the 3 things Krishna says? Think of
Mataji,
me,
pay obeisances.
pay obeisances, yes, very good. And then think of me, become my devotee, right? Manmana bhava madbhakto. Manmana, always think of me. Madbhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji mam namaskuru, pay obeisances. Maye veshati iktvaivam. I think Atmanam Tatparayana or something. I'm not getting exactly. Basically, what he says, if you worship in that way, you are surely coming to me. That is to spiritual world. That means when we have faith in the Lord, whatever he says, and then we execute the procedure how Krishna has explained it from 26 to 34 shlokas. So we can go, I mean, you can read detailedly the purports and understand. And then that is a way how Krishna wants us to do the devotional service. And that pleases the Lord, right? Then Krishna says, you can surely come to me. So today's section, we see there are 3 sections, 10.1 to 7, Krishna's position as origin of everything. In section B, 10.8 to 11, the Chatushloka. And then the C, 10.12 to 42, that Arjuna's acceptance and his request, where Arjuna accept Krishna as the supreme Lord, right? The rasa again changes here, and then he asks Krishna to show the. He want to explain the opulences. So how can we remember you, right? So the synopsis. So Lord Krishna at the end of 9th chapter advises to fix the mind on him. Manmana bhava madbhakto, that shloka, right? So when we fix our mind on him, then the mind will not deviate. Otherwise, the mind is very fickle-minded. No, I get so many things, but then when we are clear, so what is my goal, or why am I here, and then I am fixed in devotional service, then there is no distraction. So Krishna says, fix your mind on me. Hence, describe his opulences on which a devotee can fix his mind, and how to remember him when we see opulent, powerful, and beautiful things in creation. So, how to fix the mind? So, that is what Arjuna is asking. Okay, now you are asking me, Krishna, fix your mind. How else? How can I fix? Because all the time I don't see Krishna. I see so many different things in the universe. So, Krishna says, whenever you see something beautiful, opulent, then that is Krishna. So anything which is powerful, beautiful, and so then we have to understand this is Krishna. And then he says, like, in different ways how we can see the Lord. So this can be even for people who are who don't even believe in God, right? They don't appreciate God, but then they appreciate Lord's creation, right? In that way, at least it is like appreciating the Lord and remembering Lord. So conclusion of chapter 9 is that one should become a pure devotee of Lord by focusing mind on Lord. Chapter 10 focus on description of Krishna's opulences. By hearing will increase devotion. So Krishna's position as the virgin of everything, Chatushloka, and his acceptance. Okay. So now section A, Krishna's position as virgin of everything. So 1 to 3. Verse 1 to 3. Anyone knowing Krishna as the unborn Supreme Lord and the source of all sages and demigods is undeluded and free from sin. So usually many people think, they don't have patience also to stay till chapter 10, because initially when we say Krishna is Supreme Lord, right, in the level 1, nobody are ready to accept that. They don't want to even stay till the end of the course. Many people leave because they have their own thoughts in mind, or assumptions, or preconceived notions, like they have different gods, right? So then they are not ready to understand. So, but here Krishna declares that even the sages and demigods cannot understand the Krishna, because he is the source. How is it possible? Because all of them have come after him only, and he is unborn. But they are all born, right? They are all born, right? All the devatas, if you take, everybody we can tell who is the father, who is the mother. But then for Krishna, yes, for Krishna, when he comes as avatari in the Dwapar Yuga, he had parents, but otherwise he's already there, eternally there. No, so who knows? Then there's no sin. All qualities and attitudes. 4 to 6 is freedom from illusion, self-control, and infamy are created by Krishna. Even the progenitors of universe are born from his mind. So we'll see all this in detail. Those who know Krishna glories engage in service. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Bhuyeva Mahabaho Shunime Paramam Vachaha Yatteham Priyamanaya Vakshyami Hitakamyaya. So anybody wants to read, you can read like shloka, and if you're comfortable, you can also participate like that. Okay. From next shloka you can. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained." See, this is such a loving relationship, no, with the Lord that we have, because Krishna, we are all eternal. Eternally we are connected to the Lord. So part and parcel of the Lord. So that is why he's showing so much of love. So when somebody is very interested, like, or if somebody is dear to you, obviously without them asking you, you'll give them suggestions, no, for their benefit. So similarly, Krishna also is saying here, because you are dear to me, dear friend, I shall give you the knowledge better than what it is already explained. So Lord Krishna asks us to listen carefully as he will reveal more knowledge, wonderful knowledge about his opulence. So in 7th chapter, we study different energies of Krishna. So what are those energies? And can anyone tell what are the energies that we studied in chapter 7?
Mataji, internal energy, external energy, and the marginal energy.
Okay, what is that? Yeah, in material energy also we learned about inferior and the superior energy. What are the inferior energy? Which is the inferior energy of the Lord? And the gross elements we learned. No, what are those gross elements? And where Krishna says that they are all, I mean, it comes from me.
Mataji, air, water, fire, ether.
Air. And then he also says mind, intelligence, and
ego. Yes, Mataji.
yes. So they are all, yes, correct. And also as you said, the marginal potency, internal potency, and the external potency. Yeah. So all this come from Lord. And we also understood how they act. So based on Krishna's Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha, Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Bibhati Durga. So based on Krishna's instruction only, the Durga, who is a maintainer of this world, material world, she's taking care. No? And then Krishna says, I mean, how this whole universe he's keeping in place, no? Matta Parataram Nanyat. How he gives the analogy of what? Anyone remembers what is the analogy which Krishna gives, like
Mataji, beats
holding the
on a
planet?
string. Beats on a string.
Yes, very good. So that is the example, just like how the string is not visible. So though Krishna is not visible, but his energy is what is making everything to stay in place. So Lord established his different energies to establish devotion in firm conviction. So this is in chapter 9. Chapter 10 gives more confidential knowledge of his specific opulences and his work. So what is the qualification here? To understand, eagerness to hear is the qualification. So Prabhupada gives in the purport, discourses in society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Just like Arjuna's qualification, you are dear to me. So this also Krishna says in chapter 18 also, because this guhyatamam, this knowledge, you need to discuss among the devotees. So this is not to be discussed with unfaithful people. Krishna says that never tell this to anyone who is unfaithful or envious of me. So it should not be shared. No, and also this is one of the offense of the 10 offenses that we have for chanting the holy name. One of the offenses teaching the knowledge to the or Hare Krishna mantra to the unfaithful people. So similarly, this knowledge also has to be discussed. That is why we have made so that devotees get the association, because association is very important. So I don't know how many of you are attending. Anyone is here attending this Bhakti Vriksha groups every week and studying together? Are you all in a Bhakti Vriksha groups?
Yes, Mataji.
You are there? Okay. How about others?
No,
Yes,
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, who is not there?
No, I'm not there, Mataji.
Even I
Okay.
am not there, Mataji.
Why you are not there?
I don't know, Mataji, how to join it, Mataji. Actually.
Okay. No, I mean they would have. I think when the groups were made in this group only, you would have got the different timings. I mean, based on different timings, they would have posted the groups. Maybe you have missed. I will check with the admin and post in the group. Whoever are not there, please join.
Okay, Mataji, thank you.
Yeah, because that would be good, like association and hearing about the Lord. And Raunak, how is it going for you? You are enjoying the sessions there?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, sometimes I miss the session, Mataji, because I'm having my exams also.
Okay.
So I need to prepare for them also.
Okay, fine. So whenever getting time, you are attending. How about somebody else also said they are who was attending? Bhagyalakshmi Mataji. You are attending
Yes,
regularly?
Yes,
You
Mataji.
are-
Yes.
So what is the time? When is the time you are attending weekly?
Wednesday, Thursday, 3 p.m.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so whoever can join to that time is convenient, you people can join. I'll check with the admin, okay, on that. And you
Yes.
can just message me. Whoever is not there, just put me a message and just remind me. I will check and let you know. Okay, so this is why I told was because these things it will be good when you do discussion that manthan will happen. No more we discuss, we some points will come, some other devotee get some doubt. So in that common platform, you can share each other. Like one something you may know, something the other person may not know. You can share your knowledge, right? That will be a good platform for you also to learn and know something which we don't know from others. So hearing is very important in this. So we heard more in chapter 7 on hearing, right? How hearing is very important. Yes, who wants to read can read the
Can
shloka
I
and the
can I read, Mataji?
Yeah, yes.
Name viduhu suragana prabhavam na maharsaya aham adirhi devanam maharsina cha sarvasaha. Translation. Neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Continue one more.
Yes, Mataji. Yo mam jamanadim cha vetti loko maheswaram asammudha satyesu sarva pape pramuchyate. Translation. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all worlds, he undeluded among men, he freed from all sins. Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we can see in this picture, right? When Krishna was born, Lord Krishna was about to born, all the devatas, everyone, they gathered there to pay obeisances. Why would they come? Because he is the supreme Lord. Because they know that Lord is going to come. No. So why did Krishna come? Because anyone knows that story? Why Krishna had come? Uh, Okay. This Mother Earth, no? Mother Earth was burdened because of the demons that time. So many demons were there. The Asuras, right? The Kamsa and Shishupala, Jarasandha, and all these people. So she goes like so. It is become very difficult for me to take their weight. So she goes to Brahma to ask like what can we do? Like help me. And then they go to Vishnu, and then he says that I'm going to come. Because like Devatas go only to Mahavishnu and not Mahavishnu, Kshirodaka Shai Vishnu, right? To anything. And he is the one who handles the material world. So the potency is same. The Mahavishnu Prabhupada many times mentions Supreme Personality of Godhead for both Lord Vishnu and for Krishna because it is the same Vishnu Tattva, both, right? And we see here in Brahma Samhita also, like it is just like candle, right? If we light another candle, the light and heat will be both. I mean, the brightness will not be, just because one candle is lighting the other one, the initial candle will not lose its light. So similarly, Krishna's how many ever incarnations may come. So it is like Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it is just like waves in the ocean. So many incarnations. Only the few are being mentioned in Bhagavatam, like 22 incarnations have been mentioned, but Krishna can come in different innumerable ways. So here, what is the main thing is Krishna says here, neither the host of demigods nor sages know my origin. Nobody can go back and see how Krishna, because he is unborn. No, Janma karma cha me divyam. Krishna says, oh, in chapter 4, Janma karma cha me divyam, because it is transcendental, it is not ordinary. Krishna's birth and his activities. Evam yo veti tatvataha, anybody who knows it in uh, truth, then that person will not have to take birth again, right? So similarly, he is the source of everything. From him comes the Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma comes from which Vishnu? Who is the source of Lord Brahma? Which Vishnu is that?
Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu.
Yeah, very nice. So he's knows me as unborn, beginless, and so anyone knows the from Brahma Samhita, what is the shloka which says Krishna is unborn? First
Mataji
shloka.
Anade Radhir Govinda Sarva Karana
Yes.
Karana.
Yeah, very good. Yes. Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigrahaha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So this 10.3 is like a Shruti Pala. Krishna says, one who understands this, that I am unborn and beginless, and the supreme lord of all the worlds. What do you mean by all the worlds? It includes the material world and supreme world, the spiritual world, everything, right? So that person will become undiluted, because otherwise we are in always delusion, no? Delusion of heat and hate and desire and hate, that is delusion is there. But then that person will be free from it, and he'll be freed from all sin. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, Ekale Ishvara Krishna Baki Sabha Bhritya, means only Krishna is the supreme lord, everyone else are his servants. It is said like that. So now in this shloka, Krishna explains that how everything has come from Krishna only. Okay, who wants to read?
I'll read, Mataji.
Yeah.
Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and illusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. Bhagavad Gita
Yeah.
10.4 to 5.
Yeah. Will you read this shloka, Mataji?
I don't see the sloka. Okay, yeah, I'll try, Mataji.
Yeah. Is it not
Bhagavad
visible?
Gita, yeah, it is visible now.
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita 10, not 4 to 5. Buddhi Gnanam Asammoha Sama Satyam Dama Sama Sukam Dukkam Bhavo Bhavo Vayam Cha Vayam Iva Cha Ahimsa Samata Tustis Tapodanam Yaso Yasa Bhavanti Bhava Bhutanam Matta Iva Pratagvida. Hare
Very
Krishna.
nice. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. So these are the qualities. So we'll see one by one. So qualities discussed in 10.4 and 5. So the intelligence, Krishna says, all these qualities are coming from Krishna only. Whatever we may have, very minute quality, but that everything is coming from Krishna. So intelligence, so Prabhupada gives in purport, the power to analyze things in their proper perspective is called as intelligent. No? So Prabhupada says everybody knows that God is great, but nobody knows how great is God, right? People we hear saying that God is great, but nobody knows, because nobody has seen the shastras or try to understand why God is said to be great. Because by seeing these things, no, by understanding how big is God, how He has made this creation, and all this, then we understand the Krishna. What will happen by knowing all these qualities? The person can be fixed in devotion. So knowledge and jnanam. So this also comes from Krishna. So what is knowledge? Knowing the distinction between matter and spirit. Academicians only talk about matter. So this is also in chapter 2, chapter 9, Krishna speaks about this, the real knowledge, no? I think second shloka, where Krishna explains that the real knowledge means to know about the material world and the creation, no, who and the creator. So knowing that is the real knowledge, and knowing the distinction between the matter and the spirit. So most of the people think that I'm this body. So nobody knows that there is above it, there is something soul. So soul concept, nobody knows. And even if they know, they don't know clear that there is also Paramatma in heart. So many people only know about the soul, but there is no knowledge of super soul. So when Prabhupada went to a famous university in Boston, MIT, so he saw that university inauguration, he was being called, and then inauguration, or he just visited, I'm not sure. So when he visited, So he checked all the departments and then he asked, is there any department which shows a living body and a dead body? And then they were surprised. And one of persons asked, are you speaking of something soul? Then he said, yes. And he said, no, we don't have. Then he said, then please remove the board which says that this is the university for giving knowledge or something like that. So remove that because that is not the real knowledge. So, so Prabhupada was not afraid. He was completely fearless. So freedom from doubt and delusion, asam moha. So there's no doubt, or they don't, because why? We have very our perception and our senses are very limited. So we cannot understand the Lord. How do we understand? Only by the shastras, right? So can be achieved when one acts without hesitation based on understanding transcendental philosophy. Nothing should be accepted blindly. So Prabhupada never says that just like that we have to accept, or for any doubt we have, I mean, all answers are available in Bhagavad Gita, right? There is nothing like we don't have answer. So clear it is. Krishna has explained, and even Prabhupada's purport make it very easy for us to understand. So what is this? Freedom from delusion. So how do we understand? By the taking the help of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, right? With the help of that. So whatever Guru, I mean, it has to be, because Guru has the complete knowledge. We have to surrender to a Guru and take from him. And then the Sadhus means all the great Acharyas who have also agreed to it. Because even Krishna gives the validation to the previous Acharyas in many of the chapters. And so, and the Sadhu and Shastra. So Shastra, because it is like a mother, right? Krishna is father, Shastra is mother. How do we know father? It has to be through mother. So we take the help of Shastras to understand Krishna, because Krishna is Adokshaja. He is beyond our perception. We cannot understand Krishna. So that is why we need to take the help of Shastras. And then tolerance and forgiveness, Kshama. So one should have this quality. So Prabhupada says, excuses, what is this? Excuse the minor offenses of others, and one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. So Prabhupada mentions to Arjuna in chapter 2 that tam stitikshasva bharata, you tolerate, because he gives so many reasons, right? How can I fight? And then Krishna says that matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada. This happiness and distress is part of life. So you have to tolerate, right? So same thing here, this quality is also coming from Krishna. If one is very really tolerant, that means he has a Krishna's mercy, we can say. If somebody has all these qualities, then Krishna is there with them, right? And forgiveness, do we have that forgiving attitude, or do we keep it in our heart for a long time? Like it is said, you never when we are hurt, it should be something like you written on a sand, it just wash away. But if you write on a stone, right? Some people are like that, they can never forget it. So we should not be like that. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina amanadena kirtaneya sadare. If you are able to be as tolerant as tree, so how many seasons come and go, but the tree tolerant and it stands still. So it takes everything, heat and cold, everything, different weathers. So such kind of tolerance we need to develop. And Prabhupada says that we need to bear dishonor and insult. So these honor, dishonor comes from the identification with one's body, right? Bodily identification is what make us to get honor and dishonor. So we have to rise above that. Truthfulness or satyam, facts presented as they are for the benefit of others, not distorts truth for some personal interest. So Prabhupada says, as it is, one has to present the fact. So not thinking like, if Prabhupada gives example, like if somebody is thief, and then that should be told, like everybody will become aware that that is truth. Maybe the truth is not palatable all the time, but then truth is truth. It has to be without some personal interest, it is said here. Control of senses is Dhamma. So control of senses is very important. And this is also one of the quality of a Brahmana. No? All this Satyam, tolerance, all these qualities come in chapter 18, where Krishna explains about the quality of who is a Brahmana. So what does it say here? Senses should not be used for unnecessary personal enjoyment. So it has to be used, only, for the service of the Lord. Like not engaging in, okay, how much ever required for life is fine, but should not be more than that. That is what here uh, it is Prabhupada is trying to tell. So unnecessarily sense enjoyment is not recommended, because who is able to, there are two names. So who is, what is it called? One who control his senses. What is he called?
Mataji Goswami.
Goswami.
And yeah, and who does not have any control on his senses. What is he?
Godas Mataji.
Godasa. Yeah. So we should not become Godasa, but we have to become Goswami. That is what, right? So who can control this? This is really a very not easy one to control senses, right? So only when we are in right knowledge, when we have a proper intelligence to discriminate that good and bad, right? So then we are able to control our sentence. There is, senses through our mind, because then only the intelligence is able to give a right direction to our mind. So control of mind. So sama. Restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts like money. Power of thought should be developed in association with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So because it will make our mind polluted, too much of hankering for money and wealth, right? The person becomes more of like a rajasic kind of thing. So more and more, how much ever he earns, there's no satisfaction. So kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava, Krishna says, no. So we have to restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts. But then how one can develop the power of thought? So that comes with the association. You all may remember that GIGO method where we learn, right? How, what is that GIGO method? Anyone know? Remember?
Mataji, garbage in, garbage
Garbage.
out.
And the other one is? Same thing. What will be for the good? Garbage in, garbage out. Okay. Whatever we take bad things, that same thing will come out. That will become our character, no? End of the day. Through the thoughts. So garbage in, garbage out are good in, good out. No, if you take good thing in, so that will happen only in the power of association of devotees. Whatever good thing we may think it is in material world, Prabhupada says if there is no Krishna, there cannot be anything good. You can see in any people, the people who lack spirituality or they don't have belief in God, they will be more of demonic qualities will be more prominent in them. I don't know if you have experienced. I have seen. So if they don't believe or if they don't have any regard for Shastras, obviously they will be, they're not just atheistic, but also they will be very demonic, because they even, they will, even the moral, there will be many flaws in their character. The person who is not, so how does all that happen? Because of the association, because they have been associated with the lower, like it will be like tamoguna people. So obviously they also develop such kind of, and it will be sometimes due to their old past karmas also. So how can we improve that? By associating with the devotees and with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. Then happiness and distress. So these also come from Krishna, always considered in relation to what is favorable and unfavorable. So it is not like my personal happiness. So everybody's happiness statement will differ from person to person. Something, somebody can find happiness in material things. Somebody, for some, it can be going on a holiday, or for some, it can be spending time with family. So it will be different. So here Prabhupada says, anything considered favorable to Krishna. So this is also one of the point. This is a shloka of surrender, where we see that anukulasya sankalpaha pratikulasya varjanam, means anything favorable for Krishna, one has to accept. That can be like, may not be, it is not okay for you. You may not like it, but since Krishna wishes so, we need to act in that way. Or sometimes, like example is Arjuna only, right? Arjuna was not happy actually to fight. But then why did he fight? He did for Krishna. So then finally he was happy. But if he thought he had to, I mean, if he had to see his happiness and in fight, then everybody like end of if we had given the fight, right? Everybody would have seriously blasphemed him that he had run away or he had quit the war like that. So it's always good for us if we consider whenever if I'm thinking like if I'm happy or in distress, just think, okay, is am I on the right path? Am I doing something which Krishna wants me to do or Krishna will be happy? Then there is no reason for us to be unhappy, right? So other qualities discussed in 4 to 5. Bharth, bhava, bhava, abhava means bhava, to take birth and not to take birth. So for soul, there is no birth or death. So this is only a bodily thing. Otherwise, for soul, there is no. It is also eternal, right? So fearlessness, abhayam. So when we have complete faith in Lord, that Krishna will protect me, avashya rakshabe Krishna. So then there is no fearless. Whatever situation we are in, if we are very convinced that okay, this is something plan of God, see everything as a plan of God, whatever happens in your life, then you will not be fearful because you understand, okay, there's something Krishna's plan. If something is not going right now, right, maybe that is not good for me. Krishna knows better, right? Because he is Surudam Sarvabhutanam. He is a well-wisher friend of everyone. Non-violence, not to do anything which would put others in misery, confusion, all distress, not checking anyone's progressive life. So the violence also can be in 3 types: physical, mental, and the spiritual. Physical violence, okay, with some harm, that is also not good. And mental violence is also some people unnecessary, they trouble or they harm others by their words, no, the sharp words, because uh, it is not. So I was seeing something like. See, when you say there, one teacher was explaining, a psychology teacher to children, like there is a fine paper, okay, the A4 sheet, and then every time she scolds, she uses some bad word and she crushes that, start crushing the paper. Finally, that becomes so crushed, and then when you open, what it happens, it does not have the same. It does no more remain same as it was earlier. So we have to be really careful how we use the words with others. No, it can hurt people and they cannot come back to the same. I mean, the relationships also will spoil. So these are like the giving unnecessary trouble or misery or distress. This is not good. Krishna does not like. And also then spiritual non-violence. Means not checking, like not I mean, if somebody not becoming an abstraction in someone else's growth, spiritual life, or also like killing animals also, it is also an ahimsa, right? So not doing that is ahimsa. Equanimity, samata. So being equal, considering everyone on the equal platform, and satisfaction. So this is very important. So in we see that why Dharmaraya has been taken a adharmic path. In chapter 2, we see, right? Why has he taken? That is also reason is because he was not satisfied in life. So when we are not satisfied in life, most of then only people go and take this adharmic irreligious path, right? So do you agree for this? When there is no satisfaction, people take religious path.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
So
yes,
this
Mataji.
this satisfaction and gratitude, right? Whatever, that is why every day when we pray to God, there should be first we have to glorify the God, and then we need to have gratitude that whatever is given, of course, He has given more than what I deserve. So that gratitude, and then ask Krishna to forgive all the offenses that I have done in this life and in the previous million of life, which I don't even remember. And then we ask Krishna to engage me in the right path of bhakti, that is in devotional service. And right, so that way we need to pray to the Lord. I think that and we see how Krishna Arjuna glorifies, no, in chapter in the same chapter. So yeah, so that satisfaction is very important. And if we have to advance also in spiritual life, unless you are satisfied in life, you cannot take it this seriously, right? Because we have then so many distractions when you are not satisfied. Austerity and penance, tapa. So this is also required. Somebody is on the mic. Okay. So austerity and penance. So we do this austerity is also required, because this indirectly, what does it happen when you do austerity or keep fasting? We are actually not going to the senses and mind. Otherwise, senses want to it craves to eat, right? The mind also, but then we are keeping it away. We are indirectly, it helps us to control our senses and mind. And also it is like pleasing to Krishna when we do that austerity and penances. And this is tapa, the quality one should develop. Charity. So charity is also great quality, but then we see in chapter 17, like the time, place, and the person are also very important. Charity is important, but to whom you do and to what purpose and at right time, these things are also very important. So Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, he has showed in his life that whatever money he had got, because when he retired, you all know, like he got like a gold coins full of a boat full of gold coins. So he had given 50% of his income to Krishna consciousness. So he has given as an example. Okay, we may not be on that platform yet, but at least some percentage we can start. And then fame, yashaha. A man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. So whoever is a devotee, he also becomes famous because Krishna's mercy is there on him, right? And we know how Ambish Maharaj was famous in all the three worlds because he was a devotee of Lord. So all devatas, everyone starts to everybody wants to know about the pure devotee. Okay. Yeah, who wants to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Maharsaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastata madbhava manasa jata yesam loko imah praja. Translation. The 7 great sages and before them the 4 other great sages and the Manus come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So all the 7 sages, and before that 4 4 Chatush Kumara, who are sons of Lord Brahma. And Manu was a progenitor of mankind. So from them only all the creatures have come later. So Krishna says everybody have come out of my mind. So this and all we cannot speculate. We have to just accept by seeing Shastras. No, just because I have not seen something, I cannot say I don't believe in it. Because there are so many things which I cannot see. I mean, Prabhupada says that in the dark room you can't even see your hand yourself. So how can you say that you are perfect? So our eyes are not perfect. So we have to believe. Krishna says in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma prays, Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti, pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti, ananda chinmaya sadujvala vigrahasya, govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti. Like one organ can perform a function of another. So that is Lord. So that is why Krishna need not have a wife to create, right? So he can create just like that from his mind. And from mind, he says that all the 7 stages have come. And from his navel, right, the Lord Brahma was born. He was also not like a ordinary birth of Lord Brahma. So this is possible for the Lord. So now Krishna, yeah. So Krishna, Lord Brahma is called as Pitamaha or grandfather. But Lord Krishna is even father to him. So he is a Prapitama. In a way, he is great grandfather, and from him comes the 25 patriarchs of living entities. So 4 Kumaras means all the whole planet got populated only from these. So 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara, and 7 sages, Kashyapa, Atri, Vashishta, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, and Bharadwaja. And then 14 Manus, right? So currently which Manu we are in? Which Manu? Vaivasvata Manu, yes. So Swayambhuva Manu was first, Svarochisha, and then Uttama, Tamasa, Raivata, Chakshusha, Vaivasvata. So other Manus are yet to come. Savarni, Daksha Savarni, Brahma Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Rudra Savarni, Deva Savarni, and Indra Savarni. So there are 14 Manus. Tam Vibhutim Yo. Okay, anyone wants to read? Sorry. Yes, others also can participate who have not participated. Okay, I'll read. Tam vibhutim yogancha mamyo veti tatvataha avikalpena yogena yujyate natra samchayaha. He who knows in truth this glory and power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this, there is no doubt. So now the section B, 10.8 to 10.11, Chatushloka. The Lord speaks the famous 4 shlokas. So it is said that this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, like everything, what do you say, all the essence, like if somebody understand completely this 4 shlokas, then that means the essence of Bhagavad Gita is there in this 4 shlokas. Okay, anyone wants to read or should I read?
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah. Whoever has not participated can also participate. Yes.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who knows this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here Krishna says that I am the source of both spiritual and material worlds, and everything emanates from me. So whatever is there, Krishna is the causes of all causes. No, I mean, we can understand with an example. I think before that, maybe we can read 2 more slides, Mataji. Then we'll go to the. Okay, I'll just read. So Narayana Upanishad, Varaha Purana, Narayana Brahma. Okay, what is it? Okay, Purana says that from Narayana Brahma is born, and then from Narayana the patriarchs are born. From Narayana Indra is born. Narayana the 8 Vasus are born. Narayana 11 Rudras are born. From Narayana 12 Adityas are born. And Vedas also say the son of Devaki Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead personality. So Narayana Upanishad says in the beginning of the creation there was only supreme personality Narayana. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven and earth. No stars in the sky, no sun. Because it was completely dark, no? Maha Upanishad says Lord Shiva was born from the forehead of the Supreme Lord. So when when Lord Brahma was born, he was also like, he didn't know. It was completely dark everywhere. He didn't know. And then what to do? Like before doing creation, that intelligence was not yet God. So, but he was intelligent. So he heard a sound, tapa, right? Tapa means he immediately understood, like tapa means he has to do tapas. So he closes his eyes and he starts meditating. He said in in Devata's calculation, 1,000 years, right? So our 6 months is 12 hours for Devatas. Okay. So our 1 year is 1 day for Devatas. So like that 1,000 years he meditated, then Lord appears and then he tells him how to do this creation. So that is why it is said that time nobody was there when Lord Krishna was there. So Krishna as the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. So what is the result of knowing this? Worship Krishna with all their hearts, engage in devotional service, and surrenders. So yeah, so Krishna is the source of all causes of all causes, right? And also Bhagavatam states, the sloka, first sloka is Janmadi Yasya Yataha, means from whom everything emanates. So many places, even the Ishopanishads also say, Purnamad Om Purnamadaha invocation mantra, right? Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishishyate, means he is complete and whatever emanates from him is also complete. And whatever, I mean, the material world is complete by itself. I mean, there is no shortage, everything. No? Prabhupada says that even how much our population is that this earth is able to serve. I mean, Krishna has created so much is there for us, but then our greediness and we have misused this material world. That is why we are suffering. Otherwise, Krishna has given so much. And then Krishna is the causes of all causes. So here Prabhupada gives the analogy of a potter and potter's wheel, just like, so there is a mud and a potter wheel, right? That is the immediate cause. Like there is a pot. By seeing that, we know, like, how did this pot come? Because there was a mud from mud and then by the pot wheel. But then who is the person behind it? The potter, no? If the potter is not there, how is it possible? So similarly, the material energy cannot do anything on its own. So it may have all the ingredients, but without Krishna, right? So just like Prabhupada says, the wheel and the pot can become the wheel and the mud is useless without the potter, right? So similarly, without Krishna, the material world cannot do, because Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita. And the Mahatattva, he glances, the Lord Mahavishnu glances on Mahatattva, then it is said, he impregnates the material nature, then innumerable species have come to life. So otherwise, that is why Krishna is the source of everything. And he is also source of so many universes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, it is like, anybody knows how many universes he gives the example? Anyone knows that example? How many universes are there? What is the analogy or comparison that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives? Have you heard this? Like, just like a sesame. Yes? Anyone knows? Somebody was trying to say, I think. Okay. It's just like sesame seed in a bucket of, one sesame seed we can consider one universe, our universe. So many universes, we can't even imagine, right? So, but Krishna is source of everything. Yes, someone can read.
Machita madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tusyanti cha ramanti cha. Translation: the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives and are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. So now this is like a continuation. So now 10.8, Krishna explains that he is the source of everything. So one who has understood and become completely accepted, and his faith is fixed in Krishna, so he becomes a devotee without any without any desire, no, and with unalloyed. So there's no mixture. So with pure then such devotee is always thinking about Krishna all the time, like Prabhupada, no, always thinking about. So, and how do we know somebody is advancing in spiritual life? Avyartha kalatvam. It means he doesn't waste even a 1 minute time. He sees, like, whenever he has time, something he engages in the devotional work or reading books or learning some shlokas, like that. So, I mean, that is a sign that somebody is really advancing in spiritual life. There's no waste of time. And I mean, but they take great pleasure when they are in conversing about Krishna with the other devotees, right? So Prabhupada says only that we have to redirect. We are using all our energy in the materialistic thing. Only we need to redirect to Krishna. So just like how the Shaunaka Rishis, they were only interested to hear about Krishna. So Prabhupada gives that example. Symptoms of a pure devotee. Krishna becomes his life and soul, and he constantly hears about the discusses Krishna. Two stages. So there are two stages in devotional life. One is the preliminary stage, and the other is mature stage. So in preliminary stage, they release the transcendental pleasure from the service itself. So by engaging in various service, right? It can be anything. So all are same level. It is not like somebody is in deity worship or somebody is preaching, something is higher, something is lower, nothing. In Krishna's work, all are same. Either you can be in cooking or somebody is doing book, selling books, transcendental books of Prabhupada, right? So whatever we engage, that is transcendental. So they relish in the service. It is a preliminary stage. But in the mature stage, they are always situated in love of God and thus relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in his abode. So Krishna says three things here. Thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, life fully devoted to my service. They derive great satisfaction and bliss always conversing about me. So always in thoughts. Like Prabhupada was always in thought, like uh, so once, whenever Prabhupada used to take Bhagavatam class, he will sing that Radha Madhava. No? Radha Madhava, when he used to sing, many times he used to go to ecstasy. And then after Bhagavatam, he used to ask people, like, did you see Narad Muni? Narad Muni was listening. Like, because they're always engrossed in Krishna's pastime. He is able to see the spiritual world also, Prabhupada. So once, what happens, Prabhupada, instead of doing the Jaya Radha Madhava, he starts speaking, and suddenly everybody become very silent. So it was said, like outside it was very noisy. I mean, it was light. Suddenly there was light, dim light in the temple, and Prabhupada started speaking. He said that, to the all his Western disciples, that you are all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you have been sent by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I am just a captain of this ship. So I have been told to guide you, but then you are already doing all the work, and you are spreading this Krishna consciousness so nicely around the world, right? He says, and he becomes grave, he becomes silent. So, but then he went to ecstasy. So everybody could feel that, and his disciple, Shravanananda Maharaj, he says that this thing that they experienced, and everybody could feel that something, that different kind of environment it created, like they felt like they're in some spiritual world. So they were asking to each other, did you also feel the same thing? I'm feeling that. So then it was a silent for some time, and then one of the disciples, then he started doing the mridang he took, and then the silence broke. So that disciple, like he got really angry. He said, like, why did he do that? And then, like, they went and asked Prabhupada, if this happens again and again, what should we do in that time? Then Prabhupada said, it's okay, you can just chant Hare Krishna. So because they're so much engrossed, right? They're like, Prabhupada goes like the many times Prabhupada had been like that too. He goes to ecstasy, and after some time he comes into the consciousness material. Yes, somebody can read the 10th. So another
Mataji,
two
I'll read.
slokas. Yeah.
तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतं प्रतिपूर्वकं ददमि बुद्धियोगं तं येन मम उपयन्ति ते. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah. So how is it Krishna is able to give that? Because how is Krishna able to give the right knowledge?
He's within us, right, Mataji?
Yeah,
Through
he's seated in the heart, no? So he's able to give that knowledge. When we are really so much connected with the Lord and doing the devotional service, Krishna, whoever is sincere, right? Krishna directs So that's how we all got also. Actually, some good thing we have done must be in the previous lives. Otherwise, we would have not got connected to the right sampradaya and right guru also. So Krishna only shows in the form of guru, somebody comes means that is Krishna's mercy. We have got into the right guru. Otherwise, there are many gurus and people are also getting cheated. And Prabhupada says that when you want to get cheated, there are people who cheat you, right? So there are cheaters. So it is very fortunate to come under this sampradaya, and we have got Prabhupada as our spiritual master, right? So just like how Dhruv Maharaj got Narada Muni. So unless there is a spiritual master, how can we approach God? It's not possible. When Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, means always go to with all humility, go and approach a spiritual master, right? So then only, so all this knowledge Krishna is giving through Guru. And Parikshit Maharaj also got Shukamuni, right? So only 7 days was there for his death. But then he found at right time, he was able to find Shukamuni so that he could hear Bhagavatam from him. So there are many instances where through Krishna guides one to the right Guru. So that is all mercy of the Lord. So different steps of yoga. So basically all yogas to attain Lord. So in Karma Yoga, when one knows the goal is Krishna but addicted to the fruits, so he gives a part of his earning to the Krishna. So, but then he is addicted to fruits. It's Karma Yoga. So Jnana Yoga, when one knows the goal is Krishna but takes pleasure in mental speculation to understand Krishna, he is acting in Jnana Yoga. So the Mayavadis are the mental speculators because they don't want to get into devotional service because they don't believe that God has a form and they're afraid of accepting God as a form. So they engage in the mental speculation. But then these people will take many births to come to that stage, bhakti. So Buddhi Yoga is the highest, Bhakti Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, because Buddhi Yoga is referred in chapter 2, if you all remember. So Krishna speaks about Buddhi Yoga. It's nothing but Bhakti Yoga. When one knows the goal and seeks completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is acting in Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, the complete yoga, the highest. Yeah. See, actually, in the previous, so the 10 and 11, no? So what was the first shloka? Krishna says that I am the Supreme Lord, right? And in the second shloka, when one understands, he engage in uh, devotional service, becomes a pure devotee and follows Krishna. So next two shlokas is like a reciprocation. So how Krishna reciprocate? So this shloka, Krishna says, Teshamevanukampartam aham agnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavasto gnanadeepena bhasvata. Out of compassion, I dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Right? So how Krishna will reciprocate? Here we can see, like all the dark, whoever have taken shelter of Krishna, Krishna will remove that ignorance that we have. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. That is what happens when we also chant the Lord's name. No? So once you know, there was a you may be knowing, I don't know, there was a thief in Vrindavan, right? So that time there was one professional reciter, Bhagavatam reciter, who was telling the Bhagavatam to everyone. So he was describing about Lord Krishna and how beautiful he is and how jewels he wear and all that. So this thief, he meditates and he feels that he wanted to see Krishna. I mean, how beautiful is he? He thought that, okay, if I get all those jewels, then my life will be settled, right? So because he was wishing to see, and Krishna appears, I mean, he goes to Vrindavan and Krishna appears to him. And then he asks Krishna that, please, can you give me those jewels? Krishna says, no, how can I give? My mother will not allow me. She will scold me if I give you. And then because of the association of Lord, because Krishna is so pure, right? Whoever he is Shuddham Apapa Vidam, Krishna is called as in Ishopanishad, right? He's pure and antiseptic, means whoever comes in contact also will become purified. So that thief heart also became purified And then by seeing Krishna's face, I mean, he become a devotee. Like he didn't wanted the gold anymore. So how did that happen? Because Krishna is there in heart and he removes that ignorance. No? From and there was one more incident where a devotee, a disciple of Prabhupada, and later became disciple, but initially when he joined was a thief. Actually, he was in a many small things he used to do, and I mean very small age he started, and he used to go to jail because there he'll get nice food, right? He'll do some small stealing and he'll go to jail, and that had become his habit. And one day in jail they gave him a work of cleaning this dustbin. No, in that dustbin he found that book, Back to Godhead. Prabhupada book was there. So in the photo, Prabhupada was wearing very nice watch. So by seeing that, he felt, okay, this watch is very nice. I need to steal this somehow. So when he comes out, he tries to see, and he sees that it was in Mumbai. So Prabhupada is coming to Mumbai, and then he joins them just to steal the watch. He joins them, and he tries to imitate whatever they are doing. He tries to do the morning prayer, the japa, and everything. And slowly he felt like, I should give up all this. What am I doing, right? But then and then Prabhupada was not there. He was asking, when is Prabhupada coming? He said Prabhupada is in Hyderabad, so he will come. And then finally when Prabhupada comes, then he admit he actually no he many people went from here actually. Yeah, Prabhupada didn't come. Prabhupada was in Hyderabad. He asked the temple president that send me, otherwise I will steal and somehow I'll go, he says. Then finally he sends him, and then he goes in front and sit near Prabhupada. And Prabhupada asked, like, who was this guy? And then he tell Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, actually I am a thief. My intention was to steal your watch, but now I have changed. Actually, Prabhupada, when he says that he wanted to steal watch, immediately he gives. Don't do theft. It's not good. Keep this. He gives. Prabhupada gives his watch to him. So that is like, so how this happen? Krishna gives that intelligence, or like he destroys the darkness which is coming out of ignorance in our heart. So we see here also, right, how Kapila Muni, how she, for her mother, she morning Bhagavatam, if you all attending, this is the pastime which is going on, very beautiful pastime, right? So she knows that he is Lord himself who has come as an incarnation. Lord incarnation has come as her son. So she listens everything about the Lord from the son, and she also she gets liberated, right? So this shloka, yes, it explains about Lord, special mercy of Lord. Lord destroys all impediments and dispels any ignorance in the heart with the shining lamp of knowledge. So, okay, with this we stop here. So we can start this one from next class, from 12 to the balance. Yes. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti vaishnavindi ki jai, Namacharya Das Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Any questions on today's chapter? You may ask.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Spiritual
ma'am.
violence. What is spiritual? Which one is spiritual violence?
Spiritual violence. Spiritual violence means you're trying to stop someone from spirituality, like not cooperating or stopping them, or not allowing them to worship God, not allowing others to chant, right? I mean, obstructing someone's spiritual growth in home, or avoiding someone. Or not only that, that spiritual violence is also when we are not feeding our soul, is also a spiritual violence. That is also, I mean, doing self spiritual violence, because
Okay.
we are not doing which the soul needs. No? What is that isho? Surya Namat Atmahana. It is called as Atmahana, means killer of the soul. So that is spiritual violence, means because we forget what is the main, I mean, what does the soul need? So much engrossed in material thing and bodily needs. So we forget the soul. So that is a spiritual violence, Mataji. When we forget soul, what is its relationship with Lord? We are not concentrating on that, and then it is a spiritual violence.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
One
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One more question.
Hmm.
Mataji, all mantra starts from Om, like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Ganeshaya Namo. But Mahamantra and Panchatantra mantra not starts from Om. Why?
Somebody has answer. I think I don't know if I have mentioned in the any classes. Anyone knows why?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, tell me. Prabhu.
It itself contains the Supreme Lord Krishna.
Because Om is what? Krishna says, I am Om. No, it is Krishna's energy, or Krishna, he says that Om, I am the Om is a representation of Krishna, but not direct Krishna. When Krishna is directly present, right? So that is why in Hare Krishna mantra, Om is not there.
But
When we are directly taking the,
but Mataji, Om Namah Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Yeah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yes.
Vasudeva is also Krishna.
Yeah, Vasudeva also is Krishna. And one more thing is that this Maha Mantra is given for Kali Yuga by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? So for Kali Yuga Dharma, for this Yuga, this is a mantra is given. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya was for Satya Yuga.
Yes.
Satya Yuga, that time that mantra was given. Yeah. For every Yuga, there's a different mantra. So for this Yuga, this is given. So it is like this, we should not have any doubt that why Om is not there, because Krishna himself is there and Krishna energy, the Radharani is there. So that should not be concerning.
Yes. Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Mataji, when are we going to have examination for this course?
You are having no tests. Yeah, we will have other exam also. You will have. Okay, let me check. We have already covered 10 chapters. No, I'll check and come back to you. I think you will have. You should be having a test. Weekly test you have. Let me check. If there is any something like combined, like 6 chapters or 7 chapters, let me check and come back to you for 6 chapters if we have. Okay.
Mataji, are these tests open book examinations?
No. Closed only.
Okay, Mataji.
The test that you are taking, weekly you are taking, right? For the chapter wise, that you have taken, right?
Ma'am, Mataji, those are assessments.
Yeah. Okay. So that there are no test kind of thing in that.
Mataji, will there be any final exam?
Yeah, they'll be there. I'll come back to you. Okay. Next week I will tell you. Oh, next week. Next week I'll not be able to take class. Okay. Next week actually I have my Bhakti Shastri exams coming and I have not prepared, and there are assignment also for submission. So next week we will not have class. Okay. So I will post you in the group regarding this, the test.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, tomorrow we'll continue the other part of the chapter. Okay, can we all say Hare Krishna together? If there's no questions, then we can together 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.